Here's a wild thought for you. What if I told you that the native Korean word for side and a common Japanese loanword you see everywhere, from carpentry to fashion, actually come from the exact same ancient root? Well, today, we're going to go on a little linguistic detective journey to uncover a hidden link between two words you'd never ever think were related.
So first things first, let me ask you, have you ever heard the word Yoko? Now, even if the word itself doesn't ring a bell right away, I bet you've come across it way more than you realize, especially if you're around builders, printers, or designers.
All right, so, Yoko around us. Where does this word actually pop up? Let's take a look at a few examples that are probably hiding in plain sight, especially in the stuff we make and use every day.
Okay, so if you've ever done any woodworking, you might know the term yokobiki. It's the technical term for cutting across the grain of the wood. And the key part of that word, it's yoko. It's literally telling you the direction, to the side.
And it's not just wood. Hop over the world of printing, and you'll find yokome. This is a super important term. It describes paper where the grain runs horizontally, and that affects everything, from how a book opens to whether a poster will curl up on your wall. Once again, it's all about that horizontal direction, the side. And this is a cool one, because you're probably wearing it right now. Go ahead, check the collar or cuffs of your t-shirt. That stretchy, ribbed fabric? That's yokoshibo. It's knit horizontally, and its name literally points to that structure. So you're seeing the pattern here, right? Doesn't matter if we're talking about wood, paper, or the shirt on your back. In every single case, yoko points to the exact same thing. The side, the horizontal, the lateral. It's a word that's all about direction. Okay, now this is where our mystery really kicks into gear. We've established that yoko is a loanword. But what if? What if it has this secret, ancient connection to a pure Korean word that we all use constantly? I mean, at first glance, just look at them. The Korean word for side, yeop, and the Japanese loanword yoko, they seem like they're from different planets. One ends with a soft P sound you make with your lips. The other ends with a hard ko sound from the back of your throat. So how could they possibly be related? Well, let's start digging for clues. To crack this case, we've got to become sound detectives. The evidence isn't written down in some old book. It's hiding in the way these words are actually pronounced. Okay, let's break this down. See that starting yi sound? That's a perfect match. Easy. But the real mystery, the heart of this whole thing, is how that ending consonant changes. How on earth does a P sound, made with your lips right at the front of your mouth, transform into a hard K sound, made way in the back of your throat? Well, the key might be in a really fascinating idea we can call the clarity principle. Imagine you're in a loud, noisy workshop. You need to shout a direction to somebody. If you yell a short, clipped sound like, yep, it's just going to get lost in all that noise. To be heard, that sound needs to open up, to become bigger and clearer. So let's walk through how that happens. You start with that closed little puff of air in yup. To make it louder, to make it carry, that final sound basically has to explode into a whole new syllable. And in that process, that soft little P sound from your lips transforms into a much harder, clear ko sound from your throat. Yup becomes yoko. Now that's a great theory, but it's just a theory, right? We need a smoking gun. We need some hard evidence that this P to K sound change is a real thing. And lucky for us, it's been hiding in plain sight in the Korean language this whole time. And this is it, our key piece of evidence, the word nyuk. It is a pure Korean word, and it means, you guessed it, direction or side. We see it all the time in poetic words for the direction of the sun, like dongyuk for the east, or jamulnyuk for dusk. So, think about it. On the one hand, we've got our original word, yup. It means side and ends with that closed lip-based p sound. And on the other hand, we have this word nyuk, which means almost the exact same thing, but it ends with a hard K sound from the throat. This is our smoking gun. The fact that both a P version and a K version of a word meaning side exists within the Korean language itself proves this sound shift is not a stretch. It makes the jump from the Korean Yeop to the Japanese Yoko not just plausible, but totally logical. The blueprint for the change was already right there. So, with all our evidence on the table, from the workshop floor to the phonetic charts, we can finally reveal the solution to our little linguistic mystery. So, the final conclusion is this. Yeop and Yoko aren't just similar by chance. They are linguistic cousins. They both grew from the exact same ancient Korean root for side. One branch of the family tree stayed right here in Korea, while another branch traveled over to Japan, changed its sound to be heard more clearly, and then, much later, came back to us in a totally new form.
This just goes to show you, language is basically an archaeological dig. There are layers of history, migration, and human ingenuity buried in the simplest words we use to describe the world and the objects around us. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible connections are just waiting to be discovered?